We've been wasting our time for 8 years for this.
Yep. We're pretty fucked.
Yep.
God damn, what a waste of fucking time. Nothing has made any difference. Nothing at all. You know, it's just like, and he'll be coming around the corner when he comes, shoot, pow, and then there it is.
There it is. Dead dragon.
Oh, spoilers.
Oh, sorry, spoilers. We're saving you time, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler. I come to you from nerdrotic.com, and I'm live in San Francisco with our Lord and Savior. God, I wish you were writing this show. Dictor Van Doomcock from the center of the earth. What is up, my friend?
Hail, Gary. Hail to all of you out there, all you fellow disappointed Game of Thrones fans, and all of you who are still Game of Thrones fans for some reason. You are more forgiving than I. But I cannot forgive this. God damn it. I cannot forgive last week and then this week with a lot of filler. And then boom goes the dragon. Bullshit. Bullshit. Nothing was worth it. All the Dothraki gone. What the fuck was this, Gary? What the fuck was this?
They just wanted to get the supernatural Night King out of the way so we can get back to the betrayal that they're going to have to set up in 3 goddamn episodes, and we can see it a mile away. Wow, I wonder if Jon is going to betray Daenerys, and I'm wondering if Tyrion is going to betray Daenerys. And right now, after watching this episode, Sansa will be sitting on the throne. You heard it here first. I know nothing about spoilers or anything, but Sansa, just the way things are setting up, I think her ass will be on the Iron Throne. If there's, I always thought there wouldn't be an Iron Throne at the end, but, and maybe there won't. I don't know. I could be wrong. It's just, you can see this stuff coming a mile away, and now it's just like watching a car accident. It's like Austin Powers when that guy, when they're in the steamroller, and the guy's all, no! And Austin's like telling him to get out of the way. Yeah, that's what we're watching right now.
That's right. They're coming to kill you. Ken's coming to kill me.
Oh, so I did there's a Douglas Adams chapter that I read in the pregame that a little later I will read to you that sums up Game of Thrones in one chapter. It's a perfect, it's not even a chapter, it's a paragraph that he wrote in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I'll read it to you later. That's a little tease, ladies and gentlemen. We got people coming in already. There's going to be spoilers, but you're not missing anything. Thank God they killed the Night King, and so we can get that out of the way, so we get to have a bunch of sitting around in rooms, Tormund getting laid, Jaime getting laid, everybody getting laid. And so we dispatched the Night King because we didn't have time for anything for this.
Right.
For this.
Right. This is what we've been waiting for. We thought we were waiting for, the great battle between ice and fire. We thought that we were, looking forward to or dreading the invasion of the dead, of the world of the living. But no. Actually, I was waiting to see Arya get proposed to.
Hang on. They're saying my mic is off. We're going to have to restart the whole damn stream. You can hear me, but you can't hear me. Nobody can hear me out there?
You.
Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you just fine.
Shit. Okay, we're going to have to restart. Fuck. Restart stream. If you for some reason.
I hear you just fine. I don't know what the hell's going on.
They can't hear me. They can't hear me. They're saying
they
can't hear me. Stupid fucking Mac. All right. We can hear you? Okay, some people are saying check your mic, but maybe they're just trolling me right now.
I don't know.
Okay, we got a bunch of we hear you, so we're going to continue. Great. Okay, never mind. Audio's just a bit off. Hey, that's okay. That's okay. If the audio is off, that's fine. It's probably because of stupid Chrome, and I can fix that while we're talking. That's no problem at all. Okay. Euron Greyjoy kills a dragon, like just first shot.
Right. Not what even a miss where something zips by and gives them a heads up. Also, Daenerys is way up in the air. She should have seen all the ships when they rounded the corner and easily avoided this. And what the fuck is she thinking? She already knows that they have these scorpions because, one of them already got shot with one and they already had to dodge one. So you would think that when they were going to invade, she would be prepared for this. But no, they're frolicking in the sky and just farting around. And Jesus Christ, what the fuck? What the actual fuck was that?
And she's supposed to be psychically linked to her dragon, so the other dragon would have seen it too and probably would have attacked. But they're all, oh wow, look at all those ships. Maybe they're waiting for us. Maybe they're friends.
Are they the welcome wagon?
Yeah. Oh god damn. And just to off a dragon again. I mean, it's summer all over again. It's the dire wolves all over again. And again, I will say this probably happens in the book. Euron Greyjoy probably kills a dragon in the book, but this is the fundamental difference between show and book. And I know everybody's like, this is the TV show. Well, this is why it sucks, because Euron Greyjoy, a character they could have developed to be like the book, for some reason they wanted to make him a 70s rock star instead of the badass child molesting sorcerer priest that he's in the book. But you know, he's a diddler. But he's evil. He's supposed to be evil. And he's a great bad guy and a horrific bad guy. And he gets him in the first fucking shot. It's so freaking stupid. I can't even concentrate on like what I'm supposed to be doing right now. But it was just
absolutely pathetic. And I just do not know what the actual fuck to think about this, except to say, wow, what a waste of time. This is every single goddamn bit of narrative thread that they had unspooled over these 8 seasons has just been cut, wadded up, and discarded. Nothing means anything. It's a complete waste of fucking time.
Absolute. And there, hopefully this will sync the mic a little better because I just changed to a different browser right there. So hopefully that's better. If it's not, we're going to continue. It's fine. You can hear, as long as you can hear us, the words don't have to match. Just pretend we're like a Godzilla film. So
Godzilla.
We've done a week on this, on what an utter waste of time it is. And I guess it's time to start asking why. I know there's going to be a lot of you out there who will be joining us this week. After this episode, you will be, no, you guys were too hard on it, blah, blah, blah. And I understand. I totally understand. I get it. I've been a victim of hypnosis, TM Doomcock, myself. So I'm not judging you, but we'll get some more friends over here. And that's happened over the course of the week. And I just want to say welcome. And I'm sorry. I knew the show was going downhill, and I guess this is just the acceptance phase. And I was talking to Mahler about this on a live stream yesterday, that I didn't realize it would hit me that hard. Like last episode would hit me that hard. I thought I was kind of checked out on the show anyway, but I guess I cared a little more than I thought I did. And I also feel bad for the other fans who were set up to expect something brilliant. Okay. I mean, and to start blaming fans, which you're going to get, oh, the fans' expectations are too hard, and your theories, expectations are not theories, for one. They are two separate things. People had an expectation to get a good resolution. They didn't expect everybody to survive. They didn't expect everything to go down the way they expected to, but they expected to go, like I said in my pregame, the red wedding was horrific. I didn't want it to happen, but it was brilliant. And the way it was executed, for lack of a better term, was brilliant. So although it was a completely horrific act that I hate watching, I've reread it twice in the books, and it's still, each time it's like, oh God, but it's brilliant. And we kind of expected, everything had to be brilliant. We, HBO spent millions of dollars on these episodes. The actors have put in great performances. Unfortunately, they're not written like they were 4 years ago.
No, they're not. I mean, it's ridiculous. Here's the thing. Look, all of these people that are saying, oh, you're just bent out of shape because it didn't unfold like you thought it would or how you wanted it to. Look, nobody on this fucking show has ever watched it thinking that you were always going to be happy. I was never happy after Ned got his, head chopped off. I was not expecting that. I was not wanting it. And I still found it compelling because it was great writing. It was great acting. And I'm not like some spoiled fan that has to have my favorites live. That is ridiculous. And also, I didn't have any great investment in any particular character killing the Night King. It was the lack of execution, the lack of fidelity to the entire narrative. It made no sense. It was not set up properly. Out of the blue, Deus Ex Machina, Deus Ex Machina of just having her pop up and kill the Night King. It was the way it was mishandled, and the execution was substandard, so substandard throughout the entirety of the episode that I was insulted as a viewer. I was insulted because I deserve better. After all these fucking years of waiting on this shit and watching it and theorizing about it and loving these characters, to find out it was all a sham. All a sham. All these threads, all these narratives, all these triumphs were meaningless. Not meaningless out of the fact that my favorite characters didn't live or did live or whatever. Meaningless in that there is no narrative thread through this thing. It is just endless random disappointment. Now they've just gone the path of trying to circumvent our expectations rather than to deliver a coherent narrative. And that is my problem.
And can you circumvent expectations that are expected and that are obvious? I mean, listen, I won't say it out loud, but I'm guessing about half the chat knows how this is going to end. No, I mean, they don't know like what's going to happen to characters, but the act at the end is obvious at this point. And it's just, we're waiting for it to happen. We are now, okay, so you circumvented our expectations. We expected to have dragons fighting zombies. We got a little bit of it, but certainly not enough for 8 years of buildup. But wow, we got to get to that betrayal. And I'll say it again. It's like ending Avengers Endgame with Cap facing off Thanos and all of his hordes. And, you know, half the Marvel universe shows up and Okoye grabs the gauntlet and spanks Thanos to death. That's basically what happened. And then afterward, we're going to talk about, you know, Tony and Cap will continue their argument afterwards, and we'll have, you know, a Civil War part 2. It's freaking stupid. And again, I really don't care if this that's how George was going to end it. I really don't think so. So Euron Greyjoy, real quick, Doomcock. Euron Greyjoy, and I did this in my pregame show. I will explain to you the character Euron Greyjoy quickly and show you why they failed in execution. So again, Euron probably will kill a dragon. Yeah, I guess that in the books. Why? Because Euron Greyjoy was exiled from the Iron Islands after he sexually assaulted his brother's wife, forcing his brother to kill his wife. Then Balon Greyjoy exiled Euron Greyjoy away from the Iron Islands. While he was gone, he was a pirate sailing the free seas. He has a crew of mutes. He rips out all of their tongues. He sails on a ship called the Silence. He went to Valyria, where the Valyrians are from, the dragon tamers, which Daenerys Targaryen is the last of. Nobody goes to this land. It's like Atlantis. It blew up 300 years ago in the past in the universe of on Planetos, and nobody even sails within miles of it because they think it's cursed seas. Well, he's been there, and he got a dragon binding horn and a Valyrian steel suit of armor, and he practices blood magic, and he's a pirate, and he's really freaking evil, by the way, and he's eloquent and funny and horrible. Currently, he has one of his brothers tied to the front of one of his ships because he's going to do a blood magic experiment with all these religious leaders that he's been kidnapping. Remember those warlocks that got Dany in season 2? He kidnaps some of them, chops off all their limbs, and keeps them around so he can do the blood magic. He tortures people horribly. This sounds like a pretty good bad guy, doesn't it? Not the rock star goes, oh, I'm bored and Cersei's going to suck on my cock. You know, stupid shit like that. Stupid shit writing that was never in the book. Now, this Euron could probably kill a dragon. That sounds like pretty good setup. Well, they could have done that, and they decided not to because, I don't know, because they don't like the magic. I don't care. So what they wanted to do was just dismiss the Night King, get rid of the magic stuff as soon as they can. Apparently, they didn't like it. Now we're down to one dragon, half an army, and wow, we just subverted the expectations of fantasy. We just subverted Tolkien. you know what? And then if this is how the books are really going to end, then I'm not interested. And if more people tell me I don't understand, I freaking understand the books. I've read the books. I know the show. I understand the show. By the way, Cersei's not the big bad, by the way. Just so that's out of the way. She will be one boss that you got to take out, and it's turned into a video game at this point. So the overarching story is still going to reflect A Song of Ice and Fire. Now, how that ends, who knows? Who knows? I imagine, I don't want to spoil it for everybody, but and now it's just a pointless mess, and we spend an episode sitting around large, expensive sets talking. And this was a longer episode, right? I don't even know how long this episode.
It was another 90-minute, basically 80 minutes, and then a 10-minute bullshit at the end, with them sucking each other's dicks and saying how great they are. It's ridiculous. It was boring, and it was a letdown, and it was a joke, because now I don't care about these characters anymore. What they have done is they have essentially removed that veneer of reality from the world. And now I know that shit is just going to unfold in a random way, that they are just out to surprise us rather than to actually tell a great story. And the best surprises are random, out of the blue, like the dragon getting shot tonight. Absolutely ridiculous. Hell, they didn't even give a big buildup as to there was an invasion going on or where they were. What the hell was happening? They were just kind of frolicking out there in the sun, and Gidget lost a dragon. It's just just like that.
Just like that.
Gidget goes to hell with it, lost her dragon. So now she's down to one dragon.
And the advisors are like, don't burn down the city. And of course, we've got the Jon secret thing. So it's turned into a full soap opera, right down to him telling his sisters, you got to swear. I thought they were going to pinky swear, like in Star Trek Discovery. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God. And everybody in the chat is like, cringe dialogue. Yeah, the dialogue
it was the worst. It was terrible dialogue tonight. It was awful. And I am not been as hard on this show up to last week as you've been. I have been okay. There was a lot, Arya getting stabbed in the gut. I thought that whole season was worthless, absolutely worthless. I couldn't stand that whole season, from when Jon comes back to life to when Arya's doing parkour with a gut wound throughout, Flea Bottom or where the hell she was. It was pathetic. But this last season, I forgave even the logistical nonsense of, Gendry running back to the wall and then getting a raven to Daenerys, and then Daenerys processes the raven message, and then Daenerys saddles up the dragons, then Daenerys goes and saves them, but gets shot, gets one of the dragons lost, trying to bring Cersei an undead sample. And then Cersei just blows them off. And it turns out that all this shit about man must band together or we'll all die. That was bullshit. Cersei didn't show up. A lot of people didn't show up, and they still killed the Night King because of Arya. So, that was a thread that was ridiculous, a complete waste. And now this other dragon is gone. So really, largely, the dragons are almost insignificant at this point. Almost largely insignificant. And I do not believe, unless they have plot armor on that dragon, that dragon is now going to be able to level King's Landing. Bullshit. With all those scorpions up there, it's ridiculous.
I absolutely think he will. I want you to think of, oh God, that makes no sense. That's what's going to happen.
Then. That's it. It doesn't make any sense.
And it
at
doesn't. At
this point, it's too late.
It's. Yeah, it was a wasted goddamn time. I don't care what happens. The dragons, the mystical dragons that we spent a whole season leading up to, just were arrow fodder pretty much.
From an asshole rock and roll guy who's like a wannabe Ziggy Stardust of the high seas. It's like Brutus fucked Ziggy Stardust, and they birthed that guy. Basically it.
Going up though.
So and the end of this episode, Missandei loses her head. And I'm seeing the IO9 and Mary Sue articles right now floating in front of the headlines floating in front of my Oh man, it's gonna be hell to pay tomorrow. Yeah, you did all that gold.
Oh, I know.
And then it's
I know.
going.
They got their expectations subverted.
Yes,
I
they
thought
did.
that, Benioff and Weiss were kind of darlings of the, Mary Sue crowd because, girl power, Cersei is the queen. Daenerys is the queen. Sansa's now kind of ruling over Winterfell. It's all girl power, girl power, girl power. And, well, down one girl.
Right? Excuse me. Okay, let's get to a couple super chats here, and then I'm going to kind of pepper it with the chat. I'll do the best I can. Laws, $5. I was wondering how Cersei could possibly defeat those dragons with a ballista. She doesn't even poison. Is it called a ballista? I don't know. The big arrow that she doesn't even poison. How did I not guess aimbots and reload hacks? Right? I know. Me too.
Oh yeah, man. I don't know how they reload those things. They were showing a pretty good long shot of them towards the end of the episode, and I'm like, and how exactly do they reload those things?
Well, didn't Bronn have to he shot one, then he's like, oh shit, I got to do all this and do all that.
Right.
And, it took a good couple minutes, and yeah, though they were just, I guess they just had it ready to go, kind of like Bronn reloaded his. By the way, he got all the way. He's Westeros Express is back, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, because Bronn made it all the way up to Winterfell to threaten Tyrion and Jaime and make them promise him Highgarden, and then left.
Yep.
What? I mean, I listen. I like Bronn scenes, but that was just dumb. They are subverting your subverted expectations, says Tech Guy. That's it. They're playing 4-dimensional chess with us all. $2. How is that? I mean, for one, I hope subverting expectations goes to hell. I hope people stop doing it. How about just good storytelling? Subverting expectations is a term for hacks, and when they have to, it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick. Oh boy. So
it is a gimmick, because here's the problem with a narrative. The challenge is not to subvert expectations by all means necessary. The challenge to great writing is to go ahead and lay out the threads of your narrative, lay out the rules, lay out the characters, play according to those rules, but then even as it unfolds in a logical way, to then find a path that had not been considered previously by the audience that both takes them by surprise and seems in retrospect inevitable. That is the challenge to a great narrative. And these guys are cheating. They are simply doing the random part without laying out the homework. And that is why it is a cheat. And that is why I no longer give a damn about this show, because they have revealed themselves to be what was rumored for the past couple of seasons, that they are hacks. They do not know what they are doing. They got lucky adapting superior material earlier, and now they have fucked us all.
And no wonder why they want to get the hell out of Dodge. They probably wish they could have gotten out of there sooner. My suggestion to HBO would have been find better showrunners and continue the show. Walking Dead went through showrunners like Spinal Tap went through drummers. I'm not saying it's always been great, but they've done it. Do it. Pull the trigger. They don't own this stuff. If they're not doing the job, fire their ass. Rad Willie, $2. Frat party this episode. Cringiest dialogue ever, right? They're very comfortable writing a frat party, though, these guys. Frat bros. Nicholas Horton, £2. They spent 50 minutes doing nothing again. Yeah, at least in the first 2 episodes, which, I mean, I had problems with stuff, but I was okay with them. I was like, we're getting ready for the battle here. And now it's another one. So there is 2 episodes left of Game of Thrones. There's 2 episodes left.
Yes. I mean, they have ultimately subverted our expectations, because all of us fundamentally expected this to be entertainment, and it is not. And thus, ultimate subversion of expectations. I am not entertained. I'm rolling my eyes so much I think I'm on a fucking tilt-a-whirl. I get dizzy on the couch just from rolling my fucking eyes every 2 or 3 minutes.
What has Jon Snow done this season?
Bent the knee.
Bent the knee again. Promised he'll keep a secret.
Looks sad.
Sisters look sad.
Yeah.
He had one little bruise from. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah. They all did. Sam had a little boo boo on his forehead.
Up here.
Sam had a boo boo up there. But otherwise perfectly fine.
Mailing it in. This is the most expensive mail package ever, I guess.
I know.
Gray scale plaid, $5. It's okay if you're not a Game of Thrones fan, but like watching it's like watching the helicopter crash. Yes, it is like watching a helicopter crash. It really is a very slow moving one.
It's actually it's self-inflicted. So it's almost like the helicopter is hovering. The pilot climbs out, jumps down, goes and stands in front of it so that it can chop his head off. I mean, basically, these are all self-inflicted wounds. These are all sins of the writing. And yet on this last episode, the director and the editor also contributed. It was a real group effort to screw up this episode and every conceivable way that an episode could be screwed. I'm still angry and stunned about it. Still angry. I can't get over it, man. I can't get over it. I hate this shit now. I was making actual cracks during the episode. I was making wisecracks. And I started talking like when Jon Snow was in there alone and that door opened and Daenerys came in. I started talking like Bogart. I was like, "So I see that you've discovered the strawberries." I just started like, I've been looking around. You're getting awful fine and foxy with these other soldiers. You're pulling something, pal. It was just like, I was just laughing.
If somebody puts soap opera music to any part in this, that when John's in the Godswood talking to Sansa, you got to swear. You really got to swear. Don't tell a secret.
This is serious, dude. Look.
Serious. And then Bran, great Bran who could see the future and the past, everything. Your choice. It's like, Albert, £5.
Live in the past.
I know. What that? Yeah. Oh, great. Women flying around.
Be more helpful, you asshole. Bran's the biggest waste of that whole thing with the fucking three-eyed raven and the tree and everything. Poor Hodor. I would have said, don't waste your breath, Hodor. Run. Just run.
Yep. Albert, £5. Woman flying around on dragon doesn't spot enemy ships in distance. Dragon dies for the spectacle of killing another dragon. Absolutely perfectly described. That's how you could describe this episode tonight on Game of Thrones. Woman flying around on dragon can't spot enemy ships in the distance. Dragon dies for spectacle of killing another dragon and getting a hashtag on Twitter. Peter Davison, Australian $2. Parcels sent to you both. And he's got some coffee cups there, which I will be shortly making for the
Hail, Peter. Thank you, sir.
Hail.
Man, he's a great guy.
He is. He truly is. Hello to Mum, Peter. Mr. Chuck Nasty, $2. Not to Varys. He still thinks note to Varys. He still thanks some Dothraki. Mr. Chuck Nasty, I don't know if you were typing that with one hand, but I'm sorry, I couldn't read that better. Yeah, at least somebody. No, nobody mentioned. I don't know how many Dothraki are left, but there's still half the Unsolid left, which is how. But how did Euron get 1,000 ships from an island that doesn't have any trees? I don't know. Richard Weffus, $2. Who really cares who sits on the throne? I don't.
Not me.
And if it ends up nobody being on the throne, and it just ends up with being, like you said, a slice of life, like it's a slice of life, like, oh, things happened, and then the story ends and things continue to happen. Wow.
Well, I think what I would like to have in the final episode, they're all dead, and then Sir Pounce jumps up onto the throne and takes a big shit on it.
Yep.
That would be appropriate. Now, all of you in the chat are probably saying, but Doomcock, Sir Pounce died. And I will say to you, Sir Pounce has blue eyes.
Yes. Sir Pounce is the Night Kitty. Bring on the Night Kitty.
And he takes a shit.
Yeah.
And it's an ice cube.
These guys will probably end it with Braun having like a threesome on the Iron Throne or something. I don't know. Drinking some brews, brah. Richard Wife was $2. Who I already read that. Jarcia, Canadian $5. What's up, you Canuck? Since she was stupid enough to get within arm's reach and was going to kill her anyway, why didn't Missandei just grab Cersei's arm and jump with her?
Yes, I thought that. That's so dumb. Of course. Absolutely ridiculous. When she grabbed her arm, she could have just hooked it and just taken a dive right off the goddamn battlements. That's exactly what I would have done.
That would have actually been cool. Yeah. Well, again, we are not thinking about story. We're thinking about spectacle. Yeah.
Well, there was quite a goddamn spectacle of Daenerys like charging right into the goddamn bunch of scorpions, right in the sights of Euron, and like that's a good idea.
Oh, and then they all missed somehow.
Well, she pulled off at the last minute, but I mean, if they could hit that dragon repeatedly, when they were farther away, and she's heading right for them, and they all have their fucking targets on her, no matter if she pulled away or not, they'd be able to hit her. It's just ridiculous.
Yep. Getting real tired of the magical Greyjoy fleet.
Yes.
Shake my head. William Jenkins, $2. Agreed. Tech guy, $5. I have a question. It wasn't covered much. Why did the Night King go to Bran in last episode? He didn't kill him. He just walked to him and stood. Because piss poor storytelling. We were meant to think that something happened between them, and maybe something did, and maybe they'll mention it in the last 5 minutes of the last episode. And you know what? That will make it even more stupid. It would be better if they just ignored it for the rest of the episode. If they bring back, like, if they do something like the Night Queen scenario, or something like that, or Jon becomes the Night King at the very end, that will make it worse. If people go, see, the White Walkers weren't dead. No, you just made another Night King that can get easily killed by a girl flying out of nowhere, basically. They're not threatening anymore. You can't, even if you bring him back now, he's just an ice cube.
Yep, that's right. It's just absolutely pathetic. I'm so sick of this show, and I feel so angry about it.
I am. I've been disturbed about this all week.
All fucking week. I have been having a dark cloud over my fucking head. I mean, that's how I feel about this. It enrages me. I can't even I almost, once again, when that dragon got killed like that, I was in a absolute fury. Absolute fury. Oh, God.
I called it out of the pregame. So the pregame, I do pregame of Thrones, and somebody asked me to make predictions because I said it's getting pretty predictable, and I was wrong on the episode. But I'm all, well, they're certainly going to kill another dragon because they need to save some money. So,
but you think they do it in a good way? You think they do it in battle? You think they do it in a kind of a spectacular way instead of just like, a bus accident? I mean, it's just around the corner and boom.
There's something that gets repeated throughout the entire book. So this, again, book fans, is why they cannot end the book like the show. The dragon has 3 heads. That is a prophecy that's told. And I know prophecies are kind of wonky in the show, but they still need the dragon to have 3 heads. So that whole buildup for Jon to be a Targaryen and ride a dragon, yeah, that's gone. Paul Balyut for $2.99. What did you think about that Missandei scene? I knew that was, once she was up there, I didn't think Tyrion was going to be able to talk her out of it. Poor Peter Dinklage, man. He is just being misused by the writers. One of the best characters in the history of television has just gone to nothing, and it's unfortunate. And that scene, they needed to have a brutal scene, and but that's your one death. You know what? After the Viper scene was the worst. that was just, getting the head popped like a pimple. That, after that, I was just kind of, it was brutal. But I was just like, okay, they're just drawing it out, and that's going to happen. Then Daenerys is going to get mad. She's going to come back, and she's going to burn down King's Landing, which is going to put a wedge between her and Jon. And then Tyrion's going to do something, betray, and then it's going to end with, like I said, Sansa on the throne or nobody on the throne, and maybe everybody dead, and everybody survived the dead and the Night King to betray each other. And what's the lesson we learned? Don't trust HBO. So Grayscale played $5. It sounds like you're talking from the bottom of a well. Does it really still sound like that?
Well, you're faint to me. I don't know. And I mean, am I all right? Am I sounding
fine,
all right?
You're fine. Why don't you, could you read some chat? Like, give me a second. I'm going to mute myself, and I'm going to hear.
Well, I have to, I've just been looking at you. Don't
worry about
looking
it.
at that, but I'll pull it up. Hold on.
I'm going to pull this up real quick and see how I sound.
Hold on a second. I will, I will pull this up.
Don't worry about it. I sound fine. I sound fine. So that might have been from earlier. I'm on a new, yeah. Well, this is live, and that's and this is probably what frustrates the hell out of the access media, is like dorks like us. We're having technical issues. Nobody leaves. Nobody has a problem with it. I don't have a producer. I'm surrounded by action figures. My action figures and you guys are my audience. And still, we get some traction, which is great.
And we don't screen our calls, do we? We just answer our calls, don't we, sir?
We just answer them. We answer them. And by the way, oh man, I've just brain farted on there, but here we go. I was gonna Relore Hotline. Davos told the truth about this one early on in the episode, where he's like, the Relore just, we do what he wants, and he tells us to fuck off after that. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much HBO right there.
Yep.
And another character who they've done nothing with, and a fucking Jaime going back to Cersei again after that was like, God damn it. They've gotten somebody asked me in another live stream, like, what character do I feel they've screwed up the most? Jaime. They have completely jacked up Jaime. It's so terrible what they've done to him.
Oh, I know it. I mean, it's like you'd think that his nuts were on his hand. They cut the hand off and his nuts went with it. It's just he hasn't been the same since. But also, just he is so craven. He is so like signed on to the matriarchy now. He is a willing tool of the matriarchy. It's like, well, if not Cersei, then Brienne. He'll follow whatever chick, the chick du jour, but he's definitely not have any aspirations for himself, and he doesn't have any standards. His so-called nobility that Brienne sees in him is a very seasonal affair. It ebbs with the tide, ebbs and flows. I think it's just he is really not a complex character anymore. It's sad.
No, and he's got with Jaime, I keep going back to this, but if they would have stayed on this path, and they could have easily done that. He never went back to Cersei. All he has left is his honor. He's not a good fighter anymore. He's been brought completely low. And, he's in an instance in the books where he has to take up arms against the Tullys. This happened in the show, and which they dispatched the Blackfish, which was one of my favorite characters. And he doesn't do that in the books. Something happens. Now he has to threaten somebody with putting a baby in a trebuchet and launching it, but he ends up not taking up arms against the Tullys, and he keeps his honor. And it's important to him, and that's part of a redemption story, for F's sake. And even if he blows it in the end, that's fine. He at least goes through his redemption arc and then falls back. That gives it more impact. This was dumb. He gets laid, hears that his sister's in trouble, which he knew already, and then he's all, I better go back. And
I think it's just an excuse. I think he has a phobia about commitment, and he just decided he got what he wanted. Now he's got to be moving on. It's like a Marshall Tucker song. You know, wish you could come, but I don't need no woman tagging along.
They could have thought of a better reason for him to bail, like just go fight. Why did he offer? They just wanted him to stay to get laid and then leave because of Cersei. And then he says, I'm bad too. And it's like, okay, well, then, you know, what did I say last week? A bunch of people, now that we have no Night King, a bunch of our characters are going to act out of character. They're going to do a bunch of stupid stuff and die.
Well, he's basically doing suicide now because he knows Cersei wants him dead and she's not going to take him back. I mean, he turned his back on her. So now he's riding off to get killed. Great.
That's awesome. Wonderful. Night King can kill dragons. Blind shot pirate can. Night King can't kill dragons. Blind shot pirate can. Right? Richard Weffus. That's exactly right. And it's supposed to, Euron's supposed to have one eye as well. He's called the crow's eye. And he's got in the books, and it's supposed to be kind of mystical. Scott Whipple, $5. That was a hell of a shot. Moving ships, moving dragon, first shot, no problem. Spectacle. It was like the Dothraki running, talk about suicide, the Dothraki going into the darkness, because it was such a beautiful shot though.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was so like shocking and so disturbing that they thought, oh, this will have everybody talking over the water coolers, but not in a good way, guys. Not in a good way. So you've wasted our opportunity to see a full-fledged dragon assault on the goddamn King's Landing, which is one of the things that I've wanted to see just about more than anything. I wanted to see the Night King and the invasion of the dead because I thought that was going to be absolutely spectacular. And I wanted to see Daenerys burn the shit out of King's Landing and really wreak havoc. And you're not going to wreak havoc with a handful of troops and one dragon.
Nope, not at all.
Or they will, but it'll be phony as fuck. I mean, that's
probably, and it's anticlimactic.
Yes, totally.
If everything's unexpected, nothing is, says the Great White Hope for Canadian $2. Thank you so much, and you are correct. Ryan Connolly for $15. I feel like they dropped John's IQ. Come on, John. The ass is good, but shut your mouth. Love the content. Don't kneel. Yes, we do not kneel. Unlike
we never kneel.
The show is written by kneelers.
That's right. Let's everybody bring Neil down.
Hey, oh, come on, right? Neil.
Take no fear. Oh
no. Matthias Hernandino for $2 here for Nerdrotic. Stay for the Doomcock rant. Here you go. You get them both. We're like a peanut butter cup.
Two great tastes in one.
Josh Moe, $2. Jon should have gone north with Tormund. Well, that's some foreshadowing, isn't it? That wasn't obvious at all what Jon may possibly do at the end of the show. I didn't catch that at all. I'm glad Tormund. Honestly, the only good I'll take away is like Tormund did the right thing. Fuck these kneelers. I'm out of here. I'm going back to the north where I can roam around after the winter, he says. Well, the winter could last 10 years. And of course, they don't even talk about that. Why the winters last years. They're supposed to solve that too at the end of the books. But here's the deal. A lot of people are like, oh, well, George told them the ending. They've known this all along. Well, I want to remind everybody, because I keep getting told this in emails and everything. They came up with Arya 3 years ago. This is after the meeting with George, which was 6 years ago. Okay, so they came up with Arya killing the Night King because there's no Night King. The Night King is a show creation, so it can't end like that. There will be others, which are like the generals, and Jon will probably end up fighting some of those and probably not killing the main one, or becoming it. Who knows? But Jon should have gone with Tormund. I wanted to go with Tormund up to the north and never watch the show again.
Me too.
Loquacious Primate, $2. Meaningless plot, but at least you could see it. Good point. I could see this episode. I could.
Yes, I could see the dragon dying in great detail and didn't want to. I mean, what a squandered opportunity and what a sad thing to see. Just, on an emotional level. I mean, I didn't want to see that. And especially under those kind of circumstances. If I want to see that dragon go down like that, I want to see it in battle. I want to see it in a meaningful way, a spectacular flame out, not just like another goddamn example of Daenerys being a shit commander. Then she's up there. What the fuck are they thinking? If they're flying around anywhere where there might be enemies, knowing that there are scorpions out there, and what are you fucking doing? What is the Night King going into a hot zone when he gets killed and his whole army collapses? Why don't he just go ahead and send all of his undead in there to get Bran?
And they even talk about it within the show. Did you ever see Tywin Lannister go into a fight? Nope. No. No, hell no. You need his brain for one, and because he wouldn't go into a fight. Yeah, the Night King's a dumbass.
Don't do that. That's how they stay nobles.
Exactly. Code Guy, $5. This is what you get with this generation of lazy writing. The Rian Johnson method of jingling keys, then stealing your wallet while you're distracted. Yeah. JJ Abrams. This is what we're getting. Boy, were we spoiled in the 80s. We were.
Yep.
Where's freaking John Carpenter when you need him? DJM Voices, $10. Do you people not understand how it works? The people who make these shows want you to have high so you'll watch. They're counting on it. That's something that's somehow our fault when they fail. Yeah, exactly. It's our fault when they fail. Okay, and that's where I've already been hearing it all week. You don't understand. You don't know what to expect. You haven't been paying attention. Yes, I have.
Right.
Honestly, obsessively paying attention. I was just talking to Mrs. Nerdrotic about this. She is keenly aware. She is the one person keenly aware how obsessive I am about this show, to the point where she pointed out this. I got to look at my camera. I'm going to tell something I probably should be embarrassed about. I spent one day laying on my floor here studying these that I pinned up on my ceiling. Those are all the Westeros maps. I spent like a good 2 hours just looking them over, checking them out, reading them. Yep. Obsessively. Okay. So don't tell me I don't understand. I don't understand a lot of things. I understand this. Let's get to the super
that's
chats.
right. And also they were even blaming us for not having our televisions adjusted properly.
Yeah, yes.
The cinematographer was saying, well, a lot of people don't have their televisions adjusted properly. How many other fucking shows is this a problem for? Exactly.
Go buy a more expensive television.
Bullshit. I heard guys that had 4K televisions with the latest shit, they were having to crank it all the way up, and all they were getting was like streaming artifacts and all sorts of hideous noise.
I got a 4K monitor. I got a 4K TV. I couldn't see crap. But you know what? I could see stuff on Netflix, and many people pointed out, it just showed the contrast with the Two Towers, which is just
night and day, literally.
Lion of the Morning, $4.99. If scorpions were that effective, Valeria would have never been able to defeat old Gis. Oh God, Lion of the Morning, I love you. Or anyone else. It's so infuriating. Yes, that's right. Old Gis was at war with Valeria. Valeria could have taken over the entire damn world. The reason the Andals went to Westeros and fought the First Men was because Valeria was taking over the whole world. They just decided to stop for some reason. They were taking slaves at will to work in the mines. All the noble families had multiple dragons. The Targaryens were poor. They were a nothing family. They were kind of ostracized, and it was only because of Daenerys the Dreamer that they survived. Jim Samples, $5. Only way to save Bran mentally time travels, confounds Robert. Rhaegar bisects him, takes his place on the throne with Lyanna sitting by his side. That would be a better ending than what we're going to get. It would. And honestly, I say this right now, things were better off with Robert. We were honestly better off when the show started. The realm was at peace. Yeah, he was after one little Targaryen, but he could have just never found her. He was too busy drinking and whoring. And so what? So the realm was broke. Big deal. He had Littlefinger.
Really, it's ironic in that Robert Baratheon was killed by a boar, and this show is being killed for being boring.
Yeah.
That was some clever foreshadowing.
There you go. You subverted my expectations, Doomcock, with that joke there. He's here all week. Try the veal. Matthias Hernandino for $5. How did the Targaryens conquer Westeros with only 3 dragons if they were that easy to kill? They're not that easy to kill. That's the whole deal.
They're not, but they would have certainly. I mean, look, old Maester Frankenstein there is not the first one to think of a crossbow. And thinking about a giant crossbow is not that big of a fucking stretch. If those things would work, then they would have invented them. Necessity is the mother of invention. And if the 3 dragons had been really that formidable way back when they had crossbows, they probably would have thought to build a big one. It's just stupid.
And put armor on your dragon. And the dragons were pretty effing big. You just put armor. Oh, you also wear armor. I think Daenerys is waiting for somebody to fly by and go, "Who are you wearing, Versace?" It's like, what? Seriously, put some armor on, lady. But then I remember it's Dan and Dave. They sewed Deadpool's mouth shut. No, I'm never going to shut up about that. Laura Rianne stole my fan fiction story, $2. What about Dragonstone stone dragons? Waking dragons from stone. That's what Melisandre was supposed to do. That was her whole thing with Stannis. But as a reminder, Laura, as you know, if you read the books, Melisandre was bad at her job. That was the whole thing. She sucked. She could see stuff in the flames. She was just terrible at interpreting it. Stargate 404, $2. Danny can't just take the rest of Westeros, then wait. No, because they have 2 episodes left. That's the only reason. None of this makes sense. She could. I mean, what they were saying is like, people hate Cersei. Winter is coming. Just wait. People will beg for you. No. And this is this turn in character. All of a sudden, Daenerys is like turning into the Mad Queen with 3 episodes left, and I'm like, they couldn't be doing this, and I'm like, they're gonna do this. They're gonna freaking do this.
Yep. Next episode, she's gonna be walking around with some steel ball bearings in her hand, and she's gonna be talking about old Yellowstones. They're spreading rumors about old Yellowstones. It's gonna be the damnedest thing, and she's gonna start talking like, "Did you hear him? Did you see the crowds? We're not hitchhiking anymore. We're riding.
It's over." Joel Tumburo, $5. They should really subvert and have Nymeria, Arya's direwolf, wind up on the throne. At this point, that would make more sense. But we won't see Nymeria again. They were setting up Nymeria having her own wolf pack that could maybe, I don't know, fight the dead, but that's gone now. So they're just off being dogs and, hunting, chasing rabbits. That's what Nymeria is doing.
Well, there's actually 5 spin-offs of Game of Thrones in the works at HBO, and Nymeria is negotiating with some agents to be one of those spin-offs. At this point, there will be no character or situation in Westeros that will not have its own series in the next couple of years.
5 spin-offs in the work. Well, you either should have got those things in production, or you might want to rethink that after this.
Especially, I don't know how many there are, but
they had proposed 5. I know 2.
Okay.
George had first they said 5, then they said no, then George said they're still going, and I honestly don't know. And I mean, do you care? I mean, like, at this point, I don't care. Why didn't Cersei kill Dany? She has her outgunned by a mile at King's Landing. Not kill her like right there.
Yep.
She had the high ground. She was on the battlements. She could have wasted everybody right there.
Oh, I know. I mean, the dragons were in reach of the dragon was in reach of the scorpions, and this is Cersei. She is not honorable. She is not bound by the strictures of honor or decency. She would have killed all of them. And they're standing there, that little bullshit detachment. What in God's name? That's what I was thinking at the time. What in God's name would have stopped her from just opening fire and killing all of them?
She is Tywin's daughter. The Reigns of Castamere. That is the family that Tywin locked into they all hid in caves, and Tywin Lannister flooded the caves and killed man, woman, children, everybody. And Tywin Lannister is the one, I'm paraphrasing, says, if you kill everybody, you don't have any enemies coming after you later. Speaking to sparing children and all that stuff.
It was absolutely ridiculous. The dragon was just on the ground. On the ground. These things do not take off like Harrier jets. These things like have a big wind up and flap. That goddamn thing is dead. So really, Daenerys has no dragons left, frankly. I mean, that's what I was thinking at the time. I didn't want to belabor it, but I mean, it's ridiculous. The whole bunch of them. Daenerys is right there. Right there. And they have all the archers up there. They have all the scorpions. What the actual fuck was she thinking? From a Sunday? Really?
Right. Captain Spire asked this again. Captain, next open live stream, we were talking about Game of Thrones, but I'll read it, and I'll talk about this on the Nooner. I have no problem talking about it. You asked me to re-ask this updates on Vic Mignogna. 2 Axonar streams ago, over maximum 40 viewers at most. Chat comments were made only by wrenches. Are you saying like people aren't watching the streams anymore? I don't, Captain, don't super chat again next Monday. I will lead with that on the Nooner tomorrow, and I'll talk about that. Barbara Kroll, $5. Duck D&D, 3 wasted episodes in a short 6-episode season. The entire episode was pure garbage, says Barbara Kroll. Could not agree more, Barbara. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. And Captain Spires on the bridge, thank you for the $5 super chat, my friend. I'm not avoiding the subject. It's just not appropriate for Game of Thrones. Kip Duran, $2. WTF, Ghost 2? John didn't even say bye either. I know. Once that happened, I mean, not that it sealed that they put nothing into the writing of this show. They wrote this whole season on a yacht while they were drinking, getting blown, doing some blow, allegedly, my opinion, and just said they'll freaking eat up anything. And you know what? People are. Every freaking it's all, I think, except for American Idol, all that's trending on Twitter is Game of Thrones, and it's all Arya, Tormund, #,
simple-minded cannon fodder for the canon wars. It is just, it is a disgrace that these normies don't know shit. And they're like shooting their mouths off, not without thinking. They have no critical faculties. They have no true fandom. All they're there for, they're watching it like they'd watch a goddamn football game. Yeah. That's all it is. It's this like, and Arya for the kill, score, shoot. What the fuck?
Yep. They watch it with the same scrutiny as they'd watch a Big Brother episode. Not to disrespect Big Brother right now, but
right, like Survivor Westeros. That's basically what it is. Ooh, look, the Night King got voted out on a blind side. Night King, the tribe has spoken. Dumb.
Mr. Chuck Nasty for $2. Why did John not even have a moment with Ghost? So if 2 people bring it up in a row with super chats, how many people are thinking about that? It's like the people who were denying the episode was dark. Now, some people probably could have seen it better, but if half the fandom is saying, hey, the episode was dark, your best answer is not to deny it or blame some bullshit. Just go, sorry. I mean, because like it was dark, and sending ghosts like this was just like you did the dragon. You're getting rid of all the expensive stuff at the end of 8 seasons, when you make more money than God from this show, when you are owned by AT and effing T. You could have made this, yes, the most expensive show in history, written it a little better, and guess what? You would be selling Blu-rays till the end of time. Now, I don't think you'll be selling as many.
No, you won't. You won't. But if I could say this, you're talking about the expense, but this was a moment when he just said, hey, can you take care of my dog? And just walks away from him, where I knew this was like emblematic of writers who are have lost their way, lost the thread, and no longer care. It was exactly the same moment, Gary, as in The Last Jedi, when Leia hugged Rey after
Uh-huh.
Han got killed. And I knew at that point that this thing is not Star Wars. This thing is no longer Star Wars because that would never fucking happen. That is a deterioration of character that is inexcusable in any committed narrative with any kind of continuity. Same thing with Ghost is like his past. It's a symbolic of his ties to his family, to his father, to Ned, and to his whole identity. And the fact that he would just walk away from that means that Jon is no longer Jon Snow. And I guess that's a good thing, because if Jon is going to go ahead and pull some shenanigans here in these final couple of episodes and not be himself at all, there is no hope for this show. Basically, that's what I'm saying. It was like a Rubicon, a narrative Rubicon, where once you have Rey hug Leia instead of Leia hugging Chewie following Han's death, in the same way, once Jon Snow walks away callously from Ghost, that show is never coming back.
No. And, they didn't even need an extra season to fix this. They needed 2 10-episode seasons. They could have taken 2 years off. And the 2 years off looks even worse now. It's like, you took an extra time for this? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of those actors, this is what happens. The show gets big. The actors get big. They all have one foot out the door. Listen, their star is going to fade within a year of this ending, by the way. So their roles are going to dry up. Maybe 1 or 2, of course, Peter Dinklage and the ones that, the ones who were stars before are going to continue working. But the ones who are stars from this show, they're not going to work. They're not going to get work. We got Dark Phoenix coming out. Wow. I'm so not excited about that. Sophie Turner, 6 turning 4 burning, $2. I say Pod and his mega wiener will win the throne. And of course we all saw Pod wanting to get it on with Tormund. You catch that? Yeah.
I didn't interpret it that way.
I certainly did. Oh yeah.
Oh,
he gave the girl the same look that he gave Tormund. Tormund's like, nah. Yeah.
Well, a great big man would have a great big ass, and old Pod, Docking Bay 94 Pod.
Yeah. Right. Thank you, 6 turning 4 burning. Good to see you, Mr. Nobody said goodbye to. Okay, Fonzie will end up on the throne, says Michael Stone, $1.99. You are right. Right after he jumps the shark, he'll still be in his bathing suit. Thank you for the $1.99, Sir Ruin of House Roundhead, $5. I hate how they cut away from potential interesting dialogue, like when Jon was in the God's Wood with Sansa, Arya, and Bran. I wanted that at least, right? That's when Tyrion sat down and Bran and said, "Tell me your story," and then they cut away. Yeah, and we don't get to see Arya and Sansa hearing that he's a Targaryen. They took away the emotional impact of that scene, and I think that goes right to what you were saying about Ghost. They've lost it. They are so not into this show anymore. It's obvious. Listen at the end of episode 2, Dave Benioff was talking about Jenny of Oldstones, the song that they put in there. Well, the song's in the books a couple of times, and he said this should have told me everything I need to know. He's all, well, yeah, we wanted to do a musical thing, and the guy who plays Pod, he could really sing, so we let him sing. And I think that song is in the books. I'm all, you think you effing think. You're the showrunner of Game of Thrones. That should be like the Bible. You should be able to read verses from this at will.
Yeah.
You think?
Right. It's like Alex Kurtzman saying, I think that there's cherry blossoms on Vulcan, aren't there?
Yeah. Well, and Kurtzman's interview on the Blu-rays, he goes, yeah, I remember watching Star Trek when I'd go over to my friend's house and see it on his TV at my friend's house. You didn't watch it yourself? You didn't turn it on your TV? Okay.
Oh no. And of course my friends and I were busy doing Blow or whatever it was.
Exactly.
And, I seem to remember, I don't know. I remember Star Trek being very, very white and powdery and making me feel good, but it might have just been the company I was snorting.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I remember those days. Holy crap.
Allegedly. Not that he really ever did that. We have no
allegedly.
idea of his early teen years, so I'm not saying that Alex Kurtzman. Although I would say he writes in that way, as if he had been doing that kind of thing, but I don't know if he ever has anything like that.
Nah. Oh my God, this thing jumped on me. We've got a lot of super chats. Yeah, so the Exozone will be on when we're done with this. I will try to get through it. Everybody needs to have their fair time, and I'm having a good time anyway. So let's just hang around. Matthew Gerwing for a Canadian $2. Subverted expectations. Cersei will remain on the throne. At this point, I could. We're not going to get a happy ending. It couldn't be that basic. And like Jon and Daenerys are on the throne. They let Cersei live. And her and Jaime can raise their kid. Ghost runs back. The dragon lays some eggs, and Tinkerbell flies out of Jon Snow's ass. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Kiefer Rowe, $2. At least we have the Expanse. At least we do, unless of course we don't. Richard Wetfuss, $5. Every writer starts a story saying, "What is the purpose of this story? Why telling the story? What is it about?" Now Game of Thrones makes those questions moot. Yep. Oh, there's no why. It's a slice of life. Armchair Warlord, $5. They use the Patriot arrow from Robin Hood, Men in Tights. If you're pissed about hack writing, check out my book, The Maiden's War, on Indiegogo. Yeah, nice little plug there. There you go, Armchair Warlord. Yeah, check it out. And I've shared that in the past, and yes, you could certainly search it on Indiegogo. $2 super chat retracted. I'm sorry, that was YouTube.
Why do they do that? Terrible.
They're a little quicker with the hammer on some stuff. Some people retract it themselves. But then some people they put words in there that YouTube doesn't like, and they're a little harder on the super chats.
Well, I will say publicly and blanketly that everything I say about Alex Kurtzman is a joke, except that he's a terrible writer.
Yep.
Back to you.
There you go. Joe Bruno, $1.99. I donate my free super chat to you. Well, Joe Bruno, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Jen McMahon, $4.99. Don't be surprised in Star Wars when Benioff and Weiss remove the Force from existence, but that's already slowly happening with the Gray Ray Jedi. Yep. Oh yeah, they'll have Jedis sitting around and betraying each other and then
and talking about it and getting drunk and flirting.
Donna C, $4.99. Once D&D ran out of GRRM's homework to copy off of, the show became a mess. Book ending, if it ever happens, is all that matters to me now. Yep, I'm keeping the books. I'm not going to get rid of the books. I'm keeping the comics too. The comics are pretty damn good. Lauren Bastian, $2. Gary and Doomcock should both riff Game of Thrones and record it. Well, it's kind of recorded. We could do greatest hits. There's still 2 episodes left, folks. There is. And this is the last thing I expected to be doing. I thought I'd be a little critical, but I listen, my expectations were subverted. It sucks. I thought me and Doomcock would be going, oh, that didn't make a lot of sense, but that battle was awesome. I thought
it never occurred to me that they would be technically inept with their show. I mean, that was the crowning insult, that they would pull a Jason Bourne or a goddamn Quantum of Solace, which is one of the most unwatchable things ever committed to celluloid. It was unwatchable, dude. It was unwatchable. It was really, really awful, and in every possible way. Not only what they did to the Night King and the fact that they did it in 1 episode, and winter was a light drizzle that year. But my God, to think that we would say we couldn't see the damn thing. It was gibber. It was visual gibberish. I could not believe with the amount of money they spent that we would get that.
I couldn't believe it either. And that's even season 7, which I didn't like. The battle scenes were great.
Yeah,
were great. When the Dothraki were making that noise and they were coming from the distance, and Jaime, that was so good. And it made up for some stuff. So and it really, God, I thought we were getting a foreshadowing. Jaime coming at Daenerys, and I thought that was the scene that would get her to wear armor, but I guess I was wrong on that one. Subverted expectations. H347H, $2. What is dead may never die? Tie. May never tie. I'm sorry. What is dead may never tie. We're talking about like Thai indica, the ganj, maybe. I don't know. Albert, £5. The Scorpion have bothered me since their conception. In the hundreds of years of Targaryen rule in Westeros, nobody thought to build a giant crossbow. They certainly did, but they weren't that big and badass. And the dragon skin is a lot thicker. It would have to be so big they couldn't. The fact that they make it's a physics thing, and I'm not going to get into right now. It's a show thing. Show doesn't make sense at all. And those dragons we've been following for 2 seasons again was a waste of time.
Yeah, complete waste of time, dude. It was insulting. It's insulting. 2 out of the 3 dragons have been squandered. It's just sorry.
No, don't be. Who's Ty? Am I missing something here? H347H $2. He said Ty says he does good on his honor. Who's Ty? I must be missing something really obvious there. Some internet thing that I'm not getting.
Is Ty the idiotic fighter that was charging at Rey in the Star Wars trailer and doesn't shoot her? Just tries to run her over.
Oh, that Ty, yeah.
And she backs, it's old. Now he's not even a Ty fighter because he didn't do any fighting. He's just good old Ty.
He's Ty.
He's all, well, I want to see ineffectual, battle tactics in film.
I want to see her do an awesome back jump. I don't want to shoot her right now.
Gymnastics.
Yay. George Mallow, $49.99. Hey there, ho there. Hi there, Gary. Another crap night of hounds, hoes, and bros. Always knew that Barnum and Bailey Circus didn't go bankrupt. The clowns merely hopped over to HBO. Ugh. Nerdrotic Live is the only good thing about Game of Thrones night. Well, thank you. We try to, ease your displeasure here. This is a place to come and vent. If you like the show, Collider is just to the left or right. I'm sure they're being recommended over me. Steve Zhang for Canadian $2. No comment. Warren, but thank you for the super chat. I greatly appreciate it, Stephen. Warren Roar for $1.99. They really blew it. I'm pissed about the Night King. Yep. I think there was a lot of people out there. I'm not saying you are, Warren, but I think a lot of people out there thought they would actually bring back the Whites. Dave and Dan were asked directly on Jim and Came Alive, and they were kind of coy about it. Like, I don't really want to say. They're not coming back. They're not coming back. I don't know this for a fact. I just know because that's the way the show's going. What time do we have? And if they do come back, it'll be stupid. Silhouetted Animator for $5. Spoilers, the show ends with Tormund vomiting on the throne, then messing his pants. I would accept that ending. I would. If him or Braun. Robert Atkinson, $5. I predict the dragon will swim under the sea and take out the Iron Fleet. I wish.
Bump into the Enterprise down there.
Yeah, right. Or the Orville.
Yeah.
Shane Bentley, $9.99. Thanks to you guys for being honest on the terribleness that was episode 3. I guess the White Walkers actually may be gone. Well, I guess we can enjoy a 3-way cat fight now. Yep. That's pretty much what it is. We have another Stark going south. He didn't bring his dire wolf, and he's probably going to get betrayed, and then we'll probably. I don't care. I don't care. The undead is defeated, so whoever these characters die, mankind is going to live on. The big war has been won. Maybe the lucky ones are the ones who died at the hands of the dead, to be honest with you, and not have to live in this crap world. The Night King should have won. JD12, $1.99. Awfully nice of Cersei to let them walk away. I know.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Adara, I know Tywin Lannister's daughter is like, oh, I'll be honorable because the script calls for it. Adara Scarlet, $2. At this point, I'm just hate watching with you guys. Yep. And that's what it is. This is a straight up Star Trek Discovery for me at this point. Stargate 404, $2. Couldn't she have flown behind the ships and fired? She could have done a lot of things like seen the goddamn ships. She's in the sky. Maybe she
should not even be at the front of the pack. She shouldn't be leading the fleet. She should be behind them.
God. John T. Net, 800 Hong Kong dollars. What's up, my friend? Gary, the geek, and Doomcock the dork. Sadly, I don't blame HBO. I blame Martin. Premature satisfaction, hubris, and laziness. Now his legacy is ruined, worse than that of Lucas at Star Wars. On behalf of Tolkien and Rigney, I laugh at him from their graves. John T. Net, I'm going to say something crude, but I heard this on Word of Wolf's live stream, and I laughed so hard. I'm not going to be able to deliver it, but you got to go listen to the Word of Wolf's rant after he watched this episode, because somebody actually brought that up, because George wanted to write Game of Thrones to subvert Tolkien's expectations. And somebody in the chat goes, well, George is still a better writer than Tolkien. And freaking Word of Wolf goes, Tolkien would rape George R. Martin right now. And I was just, the way it was delivered was so funny. I didn't do it any justice. Watch it. It was the funniest thing I've ever freaking heard in that delivery. And that's what he would do. His spirit would ear F him right now and F him in every hole of his body, because, you know, I understand. Listen, especially if you find out if the book, if you hear the book comes out, if he announces it like September, like he had the book finished the whole time and he didn't want Dan and Dave to touch it. Yeah, you can blame George R. R. Martin. I'm still going to read the books, but if this is how it ends, why do they hate the idea of Jon becoming Aragorn or Aragorn? Why? Oh, okay. Why do they hate satisfying endings? The History Turtle for $5. Because they don't know how to give one. They don't know how to give a satisfying ending at this point. And I think Doomcock has explained that pretty well. They are just about the gimmick, because they don't know what to do at this point. So they're going to rely on what has gotten them this far. And it's almost like the double-edged sword, for lack of a better term, of the Red Wedding. They got addicted.
Basically, yeah, it's a cop-out. It's like the director was overwhelmed by the task of directing such an elaborate battle. And so he phoned it in, and he went ahead and did every shot, you know, in close up with a lot of blurry, you know, work and camera shaking. And they figured it's going to be dark anyway, so that covers my ass in terms of all I had to do was, like, whenever anybody died, basically show it so that we register it. But it was really a way to back away from the challenge of directing such an elaborate and extensive sequence. And in the same way, scripting it so that you just have random surprises is a way to back away from the responsibility of delivering an ending to this meta narrative that has been laid out over 8 seasons. They if they just go ahead and have Arya pop up and kill somebody, or we get rid of the dragon that's so troublesome, because we might have to actually think about strategy, and we might have to actually coordinate and choreograph a brilliant sequence. And at this point, it's just not worth it, because we've got Star Wars and we've got other work, and we just want to get to our next payday.
Yeah, they obviously were growing tired of the show and wanted to do other things, and they're gonna, again, their whole reputation is ruined right now. It's completely ruined. And I think the History Turtle, I think they should have leaned into their strengths, which is very basic storytelling. I think they should have just, if you want to shed George, shed George. Don't do it. Just write basic writing. Do Jon's hero journey. Have him have a big battle with the Night King. Have a bunch of dragons fighting the undead at King's Landing. Give us a normal ending, and people would have been completely happy. No, that's not how the books are going to end. But I mean, Dan and Dave really took a crack at being George and fell in a crack. They sucked at it. So they should have leaned into their strengths and just done a basic episode at that point. There's a way, again, you could have done that without doing it expectedly. I don't think anybody expected that, but it's just clearly rushed. That's it. It's not good, anywhere near good. I get astonished every day at what people like, but that's fine. That's fine. I don't mean to judge you. I like a lot of shit too, but you know what? Just a couple weeks. I think I don't think it's just going to be half the audience that's unsatisfied. My guess is going to be a lot more than half.
Yeah, I do think so. And I knew that something was really bad and off when both Sansa and I think Maisie were saying, you know, after the table read of the whole season, that, you know, some people are not going to be happy. And, you know, not everybody is going to be satisfied with this. And they seemed uneasy. They were like, well, we liked it, but, you know, I don't think everybody's going to be satisfied with this. And I thought, oh shit, if they're saying that at that point, this is some serious shit coming down.
Absolutely. Yeah. If they're saying that out loud, that is them
Red flags.
Listen, they got a legacy to protect, and believe me, they want to be acting and not showing up at a con in Scottsdale, Arizona at the Scottish Rite Center signing autographs for $20, which is still a pretty good living, but I think they want to be, acting and not like voice acting straight to video, cartoons or something like that. Which is still a good gig, don't get me wrong, but they're in Game of Thrones right now. But not for long. Stargate 404, $5. Cersei is the Westerosi version of the one chick everyone knows who tells every guy she's pregnant for them to stay with her and get a child support. Oh, Jesus, Stargate. Oh, God. Richard Wetfus, $2. Euron killing dragon is to Kylo impaling Han Solo. Yeah, it really is. It really is a worthless death. Matthias Hernandino for $2. Last 2 episodes, game of getting laid. Right?
Yeah, right. Oh, Jesus. Like a virgin.
You can just see them in their script writing. They just want to lean into what they're comfortable with. It's just obvious at this point.
So much a soap opera. It was almost like Jar Jar Abrams was writing Felicity again. Damnedest thing.
Yeah. I never watched that. Was it any good?
It wasn't good.
Okay. Lori Roberts, $5. Love you guys. Don't watch Game of Thrones, but still trying to wrap my head around what happened at the Kentucky Derby yesterday. SJWs are everywhere. Are SJWs getting into the Kentucky Derby too? I mean, like they shouldn't like horse racing at all.
A horse won, and then they said that the horse had interfered with other horses, and so was disqualified. And the second place winner was declared the winner. So it was kind of reversal of the actual results.
So the horse was cheating. It's a horse.
The horse. Well, the horse. Let me tell you
some oats or something.
They ran a test on it. It turned out to have a high level of toxicity, and it was, interfering in the other horses. It was a toxic male horse.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
I think it was like muttering ethnic slurs as it passed the other horses. Of course, it sounded like, but shit. If you speak horsese, let me tell you something. That was some vile racist shit.
I certainly
horse was
hope
laying
they
down.
ban that horse from Twitter. Proper Jenny. What's up, Proper Jenny? $5. Thank you, Gary, for having me on last night. Doomcock, I hope to stream with you sometime in the near future. P.S. Star Trek Discovery is greater than the Orville. Well, you're not getting on Doomcock's live stream anytime soon.
Proper Jenny is evil. Jenny is trying to fuck with me, but that's all right. I'm going to try to talk Proper Jenny into being Proper Jeremy again.
I think he can be
Proper Jenny into doing a trans operation and putting the dick back on. So we're gonna see if we can make that happen.
Yeah, I think it's just magnetized. I think you can just do that. Tom Brown, $5. I'm going north with Tormund. Are you coming? I want all of you to come. Yes. I'm going north with Tormund. I am. I will be honest with you. If I was not covering the show, I would not watch it. I would just be done. I'd be.
Yeah, me either. But I'd be done if I'd made the commitment. I would not be watching this anymore.
No, this is.
And I will never watch it again. This is it.
No. I was telling everybody on the pregame, take Nerdrotic on eBay. I will be selling Game of Thrones season 1 through 7 plus some swag for dirt cheap. It'll be an auction, but it'll be cheap. It'll start out at like 99 cents. And if I sell it for that, great. Makes room for more stuff. Janik, £5. Why didn't Bran use his powers to warn his new allies when they sailed to King's Landing? He could have at least peek with the crow. Useless till the end, right? It was stupid. Worst episode ever. Eugene Rosa, $4.99. Why did Dany not have a small force holding Dragonstone? Although she left a skeleton crew, would have been left. Why didn't they tip her off? I don't know. Why didn't they send a raven? Because she would have left somebody there. Maybe she even had a maester. Who knows? Why? Because Dan and Dave, what Doomcock said, they lost the plot a long time ago. Why did Danny not have a small? Oh, I already read that. Loquacious Primate, $2. Does winter have a mystical aspect or just weather? Well, in this show, it's just weather. In the books, it's a mystical aspect for the long seasons. Louise Brooks, $5. Isn't the adventure of Arya and the Hound the next sequel? There would have been a time I would have watched that and loved it. But them taking off, and Arya is not even Arya anymore. And I don't care.
It's cheesy. And that would just basically be like Fafnir and the Grey Mouser. And that's worthless. I mean, give us the real Fafnir and Grey Mouser if you have to, but I don't want to see that shit.
The Hound became a pacifist. Was he?
Yeah.
And now he's just right back to being a miserable dick again. I mean, it's like he just completely regressed back into season 4 Hound. It was the worst. There's no character arc. It's character regression. It's horrible writing.
And he was a chicken shit in the battle and cowering, and it was just ridiculous. And Arya saved his ass. I mean, girl power.
Girl power. And we're gonna get Clegane Bowl, which is the most basic BS ever. I don't give a crap. It's not even Clegane Bowl because Greg the Mountain is not even the mountain anymore. He is just he's just a freaking a thrall to Qyburn and Cersei. He's not even Gregor Clegane is not in there anymore. So there is no, you're just beating on a dead corpse. It's stupid. And it wouldn't happen in the book. And it's just dumb.
That's right. He's gonna confront the Hound. Is gonna step up and he's gonna say, "So, brother, we meet again." And the Mountain's gonna go, "Put on the ring." Different types.
Would be so great. Putting on the ring.
He's gonna put a peanut in his mouth. Yeah,
I love that movie so much.
It is great.
Oh my god, I hate this. This thing just jumped on me. My god, there's a lot of freaking super chats here. Thank you, everybody. People are mad. Before I get started, it was so interesting to see. Doomcock and I did a live stream. It was my most disliked video ever. I still had more likes and dislikes, but man, people were coming at me. People were coming at Doomcock. Jeremy did a video, lost subscribers. Then all of a sudden it just turned around. Like after Monday, all of a sudden the like percentage starts going up. And so I think it took people a minute to process. Some people watched it later. It took me a minute to process. And honestly, if it wasn't for me covering stuff, Star Trek Discovery, Doctor Who, like this is exactly what I went through with Doctor Who, like the exact same thing. I probably would have been a couple of days too. So it's just, but now
I'm like, I was on it. I turned like on a dime. I mean, it was like, when I saw that instantly, I just knew everything. I don't have hypnosis. So, I call it the way I see it every single fucking time. And that's just the way it is. And I don't really think about, what's going to get subs or what's not. And, just fortunately this time I've gotten a lot of subs from this, but it wouldn't have mattered. I would have said my mind.
No, that can't be. I mean, certainly at the back of your mind, but it can't be the reason you make a video. People are smart. They can sniff that stuff out. Captain Spire, $5. Wolf and Lord Doomcock should discuss Game of Thrones. They should. Guests would turn into cannons and hearts would be fired. The levels of sound and fury would be legendary. Yes.
Yes.
They absolutely should.
Perhaps we should. That might be good because I have a venting. God damn it.
Word of wolf.
I'm so fucking angry. I will never get over this. It's like Lost. Yep. I've never gotten over Lost.
And Mahler's video was great on Game of Thrones. I hope he does one for this episode too. Be sure. I know he's busy, but Jerry Guard for $5. WTF? Ballista can punch through ships. Yeah, that thing punched through ships. By the way, why invent cannons? Forget magic and reality. Ship timbers are not balsa wood. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that was.
It was ridiculous.
Why doesn't everybody use those? That's a very good point, Jerry. George B. Pryor, Australian, $5. First time I'm watching a review before seeing the episode. I don't care anymore.
Join the club. Yeah.
George. Yeah. Right there with you, brother. DJM Voices, $5. Love you, Doomcock, but football watchers are much more critical of what happens on screen than the sheep praising Game of Thrones right now. It depends on the football watchers, DJM Voices. I'm a former hardcore football watcher, fan of the San Diego Chargers, who are Screw Dean Spanos. They're not my city anymore, so I don't care about the NFL anymore. Raider fans are pretty myopic, man. They just love everything the Raiders do. I don't know about last couple of years, but Joel Timburo.
Well, I think that, in general, when there's a bad call, when there's tactics and so on that you disagree with, when you're, if there was a team that botched a game as badly as Benoff and Weiss botched this episode 3, then yes, I mean, you hear it to high heaven, sir. There's no question about it.
Oh, yeah.
But on another level, there's not a lot of complexity in terms of the ending of these games where, basically if your team won, you're happy. And it doesn't really matter if canon was violated or if, Rodgers didn't perform like he normally does, if he, did an underhanded shovel instead of a, forward pass, whatever. The results are the results. But for us, we're more critical about it, where it's not enough that Arya killed the Night King. We have to see how she did it. And the fact that she just appeared out of nowhere, it's not the result. That was my point, man. But I get your point, and it's well taken.
Yeah. And with, I don't know. And you might be right with some fans. When the Chargers lost, which was often, I was listening to the radio and calling for the coach's head, especially North Turner. Joel Tumburo, $10. Don't you know Bran super wargs into the MC universe and swipes the time stone, which is then uses to bring Dormammu to Westeros. After Dormammu kills everyone, Bran reigns as his servant. That would be better. That would be better than this crap. Oh my God, this name. Plagicchio, 1976, $7. Thank you. I'm sorry. Tell me how to pronounce your name in the chat, please. Thank you for the $7 donation. Sparkus Aurelius, $10. Everyone keeps saying, have you watched Game of Thrones? Now I'm wondering if I should start. Really? Sparkus, have we not convinced you not to start? I feel like I'm failing here. Don't do it. Do not waste your time. Watch The Expanse. Watch The Expanse.
Yes. And Legion when it comes back.
Legion. If you haven't watched Battlestar Galactica, watch Battlestar Galactica. If there's some old TV shows you haven't watched, go watch freaking The Prisoner. Go watch the old Avengers. Go watch the old Twilight Zone. The original series. There's tons of stuff out there. It's good. Watch the two. I mean, it'll break your heart, but watch the 2 seasons of the Sarah Connor Chronicles. They're good. They're good. Yeah. Watch some snow melt because it would be time better spent than watching this. Kate Abel, $1.99. Is the show being infiltrated by SJW ideology? Not horribly. I've seen much worse in other things, but it has dictated some decisions that have derailed the narrative. And we will see when the show ends. I will make a final judgment on that after the show ends. Listen, I'll ask again. What has Jon Snow done this season? It's like he sat this one out. It's like he's useless. Zudo off the cuff, $50 after all this brain damage in society, syphilis infection, like Lennon, we stopped caring. I think John Oliver is horrible trash. Okay. I haven't watched John Oliver in a long time, so I will take your word for it. And thank you for the very generous super chat for $50. Okay. I'm going to say this name badly again. Paklik Kiev 1976 for $2 more. Where did Euron get a Romulan cloak? He got it from the Klingons from Star Trek Discovery. The pie is a lie. $2. Hail Gary and Doomcock. Want to plug this video? 1 of 2. Scaro Trek, $2. How did Euron capture Missandei? Magic snare? Yes.
Yes.
Jordan Baru, $1.99. Danny Prego, no wine at dinner. Wow, we have 2 more episodes. Can we fit in a pregnancy? Let's do it.
Probably.
I always thought that they were going to have a kid, but now we don't have enough time because we sat around seeing Jamie screw Brienne finally and then leave her. And then Tormund drinking ale out of a horn. But man, it was so much better than watching dragons fight the undead. So much better.
Thank God.
Thank God. Idle O's, Canadian, $2.79. Thank God there is a spinoff. I don't know. Idle.
I won't be watching it. No way.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I imagine the writers will be better than Benioff and Weiss. Thank you for the $2.79 super chat. I appreciate it. Oh, up in Canada. Mr. Chuck Nasty, $2. I'm calling it Grey Worm will kill the mountain. Probably.
The mountain's already dead. He's a undead revenant Frankenstein. I don't know.
Oberyn Martell already killed him. Tom Brown, $2. Sir Roger Moore will sit on the Iron Throne. Hail, Sir Roger Moore. He's no longer with us, though. Right? Didn't he die? Sir Roger Moore die?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think he did.
Or did I go through another Mandela effect? Saul Balbu, $1.99. Who backs Danny for episode 5? Nobody. She's just going to fly in and burn everything. And that's going to cause a wedge between her and Jon. And
yeah, she's got her unsullied, no more Dothraki. The only Dothraki that survived are the ones that ran away. So the chicken shit Dothrakis, I guess, if there are any. I haven't seen any, so I don't think there's any more. And I don't know who's with Jon anymore. I mean, the Northerners, the wildlings have gone back. So I don't know. Who the hell is with Jon?
Did I get this right that Cersei is going to use the King's Landingers as human shields?
Yeah.
They would revolt. They outnumber the gold cloaks like 100-1. I mean, you could point a spear at a couple of them, but the rest of them they rioted over food. They would just go, okay, I'll go stand in front of the castle for Queen Cersei. Jesus.
Well, no, she's hauling them in, probably ostensibly telling them that she wants to protect them.
Yes,
but actually, what they are human shields. So they probably, there's just a lot of confusion. They don't know what the fuck is going on. I think.
You think one of them would figure that out?
Well, they're dumb.
Zeno Zuma, $2. They are. Renly would have made the best king. He really would have.
Yeah,
he really would have. He was the nicest of them all, and he tried to tell Ned. He tried. Lion of the Morning, $4.99. I think I actually want Cersei to win. I kind of do too. It's what the show deserves. William 5849, $1. Thank you for the donation. I greatly appreciate it. Garcia, Canadian, $2. Why didn't Missandei just pull Cersei over the edge?
Bad writing, plot armor.
Geraldo for $1.99. Why did Cersei not kill everyone at the end? Bad writing. Bad writers.
It makes no sense whatsoever. It makes no sense whatsoever. It's totally violating her character. And so that's basically her hug with Leia after Han died. Basically,
it is. And I hate to keep answering that question with that answer because you guys deserve better. And you shouldn't even have to be asking these questions. Kaz Walker for 10 Canadian dollars. It was me who asked you to make the predictions of the pre-show, but the dragon death was too painful and meaningless. I pretty much gave up the show at that moment. Hashtag done with Thrones.
Yep. Me too. I was furious and disgusted to see such a beautiful, not only a beautiful creature just wasted like that, but also to see that entire history just going down the toilet. The promised siege of King's Landing never happened. I mean, it's going to happen, but it's going to be phony. Either it's not going to happen, and they're going to be defeated, or if Daenerys wins, despite just having one lousy dragon, it's going to be so plot armored and phony as to rob us of the actual spectacle. The spectacle's gone. Now it's just going to be a cheat. That's my problem. Ultimately, it's going to be.
It was a cheat the way they killed the dragon. They did that for emotional impact, for cheap emotional impact.
Yeah.
You want emotional impact. You have the dragon getting pelted over time while they're sieging King's Landing, and then it dies, fighting or something like that. But we can't expect. Oh, that would be expected.
Yep.
No, I expected them to kill the dragon like this. I did. I was not surprised. I mean, it was a shocking scene, but once it sunk in, I'm like, oh yeah, of course. I just got the episode wrong. I thought they were going to do it in episode 5.
Well, they should have done it in battle. They did.
Yeah. Well, they just saved a ton of money. They did. And that's what's behind these decisions. Fake name Rodriguez, $2, killed one of Aegon's dragons in Dorne with the scorpion. Dorne did it with, it came crashing down with Princess, oh God, I'm blanking on her name. They did. Was it a scorpion? I don't remember. I read that it's in Fire and Blood, which I just read. You could be right. It was probably a scorpion. And they do have scorpions in Game of Thrones. They talk about them, but they aren't as effective as they are on the show. And they're probably not as big. Windfola for $2. Game of Thrones equals is that a Bible verse? ECCL 423.
Ezekiel 423.
Ezekiel 423. I'll have to look that up. Thank you very much for the $2. Kilroy was here, $5. Hail, I was curious. Do either of your sources give you any info on the CBS meeting? You don't need to say what it was. Just say yes or no. Yes.
Yeah.
Stargate 404, $5. The way they're screwing with us is giving me flashbacks to Aragon movie after I read the Inheritance Cycle books. I've been hearing that a lot. I haven't read those books, but I've been hearing that a lot. Stargate 404. The Almighty Chad, $5. In a previous stream, you mentioned some good sci-fi shows, and I heard The Expanse. But what is your opinion on the show Dark Matter? I did not watch it. I don't know. Have you seen Dark Matter, Doomcock?
Yeah, I saw it. I liked it a whole lot the first season. In the second season, I felt that when the group kind of, I don't know if you've seen it or not. I don't know if you're asking from a perspective of someone who has watched this show or not.
I haven't seen it.
I felt that the characters drifted a bit. It no longer seemed to have the same spirit. And I started to have issues with it. Particularly this one episode was a great turning point where they got rid of one of the characters who happened to be a black man. And then they replaced that character in the same episode with a black female, as if there was some kind of quota, but then they wanted to go ahead and go more woke. I was deeply offended by that. And I just felt like it reduced the characters to just kind of a counting score, like oh, this character was interchangeable with another character of color. It was offensive to me. So at that point I stopped watching. I stopped watching.
Okay, I never picked it up. Sorry. Maybe I should. Maybe I shouldn't.
It was good up until then.
Okay. Legend Seeker 9.99. You said the show's ending will be similar to George's ending. If that's true, I hope the showrunners are embarrassed with the sloppy writing and directing. Yeah, it's the execution. The only ending we know is whatever the ending act is. We don't know what led up to that because there are so many characters that are still alive in the books and vice versa in the show that just there's no way it could end like that. So, and again, the Arya decision was only made 3 years ago, so that is not a George decision at all.
Yeah, he wouldn't have done it so ineptly.
No.
There's no way. I mean, my God, they went ahead and they had her sneak up on this Night King with no explanation as to how this happened, no explanation how she got out of that room, how she got out of the castle that was completely engulfed with undead. She didn't put on the face of a dead person and kind of infiltrate that way. No, she just ran up on him. It's ridiculous.
Yep. And
Martin would have laid down the narrative threads for that. He would have built it up
for chapters. And he would have referred to actually whatever's happening, he's referring to in books. He's great at foreshadowing and leading us up to stuff. Anto, £5. Do you think George R. R. Martin will introduce sci-fi elements in the last 2 books, Bran, space-time paradoxes? No. The Hodor thing they did get from George, but it is hold the door, but it's not the way it went down in the show. He's said that. Star Wars for Life, Jeremy's Instagram fan page. What's up? How's it going? $4.99. Hi, Doomcock and Nerdrotic. I would like to know your top 5 movies of all time. Have a good night. Go Doomcock.
Well, I mean, that's hard. I mean, that's hard to say. I don't know. I'd probably say Blade Runner and Casablanca. I mean, it would change. It would fluctuate. But maybe Apocalypse Now.
Definitive edition coming out.
Yeah, Lawrence of Arabia, maybe. I mean, there's a hell of a lot of great films out there, and it's very tough to just pull it out of your, well, I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
Not necessarily in this order. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Big Trouble in Little China, Fight Club, Conan, and Excalibur. And I'm probably going to shift a couple more in there because Bridge Over the River Kwai and stuff like that.
Well, there's Blue Velvet, and I mean, there's a lot of great
Blade
cinema.
Runner. Yeah. El Berzadente, $10. Arya talking with the Hound, and this episode 4 made me think of the Lamy exchange with the famous Hound line. What the fuck is Lamy? Oh man, back when this show didn't stink. Richard Webb was $5. Best solution. Last second of the episode, Iron Throne gets teleported to the planet Mars at war, and the story continues. And John Carter comes in. That would be better. Nicholas Horton, £5. Ending of season 7 is starting. It started snowing in King's Landing, but this season there's no snow. It's supposed to be winter in most of Westeros. Plot hole. The reason they delayed filming was to shoot in winter, so it looked more winter.
Right.
Lying sacks of shit. Batarunner 40. God, I don't even know what that is. 40 something. Thank you. Tar Runner. Thank you for the 40. I don't know what denomination that is, but thank you. Cuck Boy, $2. It is weird that I'm on Team Qyburn and Cersei. No, it's not actually at this point.
Not anymore.
Stunned Soul, $2. Wasn't gonna watch, but it's watching. It's watching a train wreck. It is. Lion of the Morning, $1.99. How would the Hound know that Gregor is alive? He saw him. He saw him at the
summit.
At the summit, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess he doesn't know if he's alive. He's all, I see you in there, brother. Yeah, at the summit. That was Tom Brown, $2. Tick season 2 review. Yeah, I need to do that. I need to watch something good. The Tick is good. That's coming. Spartacus Aurelius, $2. Loved the Sarah Connor Chronicles and Dollhouse. Me too. Plagacchio, 1976, $5. It's pronounced Pagliaccio. I'm so sorry. Don't even worry. Also, tell Doomcock this. His voice is better unaltered. The rage is pure. I like it both ways. But thank you. Yes,
thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And it's true. Just raw emotion at this point. I'm just so fucking outraged that I wasted all this time and all this care coming to this show, defending it, even when people were saying, oh, this season was bad or not, keeping my mouth shut when I saw things that really pissed me off. Just saying, you know what? I'm just being a fan on here. I'm not even reviewing it. And then they dumped this shit on me, and it was complete. I felt like a putz, like a fucking idiot. So
yeah,
I God damn it, they did it again. I mean, should we not be watching these long form narrative shows until we know that when they're done? But if you do that, then no long narrative form will ever complete the narrative because they won't have enough viewership.
When they
So
got
it's just like a catch-22.
you got to do it on books that ended. I mean, that's it. Don't do it with a book series that's not going to end. Don't even waste your time. So you know what you're going to get. Unfortunately, you know the ending, but at least you get one. This was I love long form. I love that type of story. I love overarching stories. I'm not really that into episodic, kind of like maybe how Doctor Who used to do it. I'm fine with, and Star Trek, of course, but this is an argument against it. I can't defend it anymore.
Look at Carnival. 2 seasons of Carnival. I really liked that show, and then not a goddamn thing. They just cancel it. Just yank
that
it.
was such a good show.
It was a great show. And I mean, that's the thing. I mean, HBO couldn't even give you a 2-hour movie to wrap up the narrative. I mean, They could have. You cannot wrap up anything in 2 hours. I don't care what it is. You can tell a whole story, a whole universe in 2 hours. A great screenplay writer can do that. They do it all the time in movie houses.
Ronald D. Moore could have done that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Give me that goddamn 2-hour movie to wrap up that battle between the preacher and the circus and everything. It was fantastic.
Yep. Tokyo Gaijin, 500 yen. In this episode, is this episode worth taking my ship out of port and going on the high seas over? No. God, no. Don't waste your time. Nothing happened. A dragon died. Missandei got beheaded. Daenerys is mad at Cersei, and they're going to fight next episode. There's going to be a big spectacle, and then the entire last episode will be dealing with people who betrayed whoever and some executions, and that's it. It'll be done.
Yeah, and they even cheated us on Missandei's head. I wanted to see it get lopped off. I mean, we see heads get lopped off. Why the hell did they actually cut away to a long shot of seeing her little dot fall off? I felt cheated.
Yeah, well, the reason they did that was because they didn't want to show any violence on a woman, even though it's fake.
If it's in the plot, show it.
Gnostic Demon, $2. Why didn't Bran scout the pirate ships? Because Bran is fracking useless and a waste of time, unfortunately. And I'm sorry we even have to ask this question. 6 turning 4 burning, $5. You're going to have to pay me more than $1 to take your Game of Thrones DVD sets on eBay. Probably. Super Anime Gamer 01. What is up? $5. Maybe it's just it's because season. Maybe it's just because seeing episode 3 beforehand put me in a bad mood, but screw this episode. It sucked. D&D, you ruined it. Love these streams, guys. Thank you so much. And we love having you here. Thank you, everybody who's here. We had, I don't know how many people are still hanging on. God, a lot of people are still hanging on. People are mad. People are effing mad. And Dan and Dave, I hope somebody at HBO is watching. I hope one of you is out there and watching and listening. And, I'm not going to watch your prequel, but think about this when you make your prequel. Have an ending, build up to it, invest in it. If it's a hit show, if it's the biggest show in the fucking world, put money into it. You will make your money back. Don't go cheap because you're getting bought out by AT&T. I don't want to hear your excuses. If your showrunners were tired, fire their ass and bring some fresh asses in. Fuckers.
Agreed.
Jordan Bauer, $1.99. Dorne, Reed, Glover to kill everyone to rule the realm. Yes. Hey, they mentioned Dorne this episode. They said the Prince of Dorne. What prince? What prince?
I don't know.
The Martell family is gone. And that was the most nonsensical thing. Okay. So, yeah, I don't even want to get into that was so dumb. Oberyn Martell would have killed all his bastard children for doing that to his brother. If he was still alive. Cornelius Brunius, $2. My prediction is they turn it into a democracy. They probably I don't know. If anybody's left. Richard Wefus, $10. You know what the directors do when a crap movie is coming out? They distract an opening day by talking about the next film instead. This is what HBO is doing, talking about Game of Thrones spinoffs now. Yep. Somebody else, another YouTuber pointed this out. I think it was Angry Joe. George R. R. Martin did not tweet anything out the day his show premiered for season 8. Not a word. Not a word about his show. Tokyo Gaijin, 500 yen. Spoiler for the end of Game of Thrones. The Red Angel comes and shows Cersei the error of her ways, and Michael Burnham takes the throne. That'd probably happen.
Oh, it'd be perfect.
They find out they're in Westeros world, and yeah. Chris Wilson, Canadian $2, and they reprogram everybody with a good plot. Do you think Tyrion will betray Daenerys? Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Isn't that obvious?
Yeah.
And it's Varys setting them up for it. George Malo, 1999. Hey, Gary, do you think they will end Game of Thrones like The Sopranos? Daenerys, Tyrion, Jon, opposite Cersei in the mountain, staring at each other as Journey plays in the background and fades to black. Time to watch Lord of the Rings. I'm definitely going to watch Lord of the Rings when I'm done with this to cleanse my palate for sure. No, they'll show you what happened, but you will feel just as pissed. Carlton Jean for $1.99. Shouldn't Arya's neck been snapped by the Night King? Yes. He could have just closed his hand. Why did he hold her there? Well, for the same reason the giant brought Lyanna Mormont to his face, so she could kill him. Girl power.
Helpful.
Chris Wilson, Canadian 549. How do you guys end it if you wrote it? Oh boy, we don't have the time.
No,
we don't. Not like this. Real quick. God, real quick. I would still have maybe Daenerys and Jon going at each other, but then that's prior to the Night King. You end with the Night King. Yes, it's obvious, but you can still subvert expectations within that. Like you find out maybe the Night King isn't the true bad. He's a force of nature, and you couldn't do it in the show, but in the books, the children of the forest might have been the bad guys all along, and they played with some magic they shouldn't have, and that's why the Night King was there. And you find out, when it's way too late. But you don't end it like that. And I'm not a writer. Doomcock could probably come up with, given the time, a much better ending. Spartacus Aurelius, $10. George, who lives in Santa Fe, which is a beautiful city, by the way, bought a vintage one-screen theater there and is showing Game of Thrones episodes for the public between seasons. Had the Wolves there once, so that was cool. I missed them sadly. Spartacus Aurelius, I've seen that theater. I've been to Santa Fe. One of the reasons I traveled to Santa Fe was because it was George's hometown. Yes, I'm that much of a nerd. And I just missed him at a restaurant, which really sucks. I had to go and get something out of the car. I came back and Mrs. Nerdrotic says, "You just missed George." And I wanted to weep. Stunned Soul, but now not so much. Stunned Soul, $2. If normies love it, it usually sucks. Don't watch. Yep. I kind of agree with that. Ron Ketchum for $5. Thank you for your videos. Ron, you are most welcome. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Ron, for watching and donating. Both the Doomcock and I are nothing without you guys. We appreciate you guys so much. And thank you for giving, for allowing us to have this opportunity to do this, because this is a blast.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is wonderful. And I really appreciate all the subs and all the views on my videos that have come out of this. And you guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's really been amazing. The channel has really exploded, and I know yours has too. And I did not expect that. That was out of left field completely. Ryan Conley for $5. Are you a lore guy? I can't get enough of good world building and mythos. What is your take? Ryan, I am the same. I'm a comic book fan. Comic books are essentially all about lore and world building and escapism. That is my thing. That is my jam. I have the maps up on my ceiling and I study them. I'm like a dork for world building. I love it. So when it's done well, yeah, that's why I love Doctor Who. That's why I love, especially comic books.
Well, that's why canon is very important. And when you have gone ahead and violated canon, you have basically violated the integrity of your universe. And when that happens, suspension of disbelief becomes that much of a greater load to bear. And basically you start to lose the magic that made your universe something special. And that's the problem.
Thank you, Ryan. That's a great question. Chris Wilson, Canadian 279. Doomcock, love your rage. Yes.
Thank you, sir. I have no choice, so I'm glad that you love it. I wish that I could dispense with it. I wish that I could be happy. I wish that I could be mindless little consumer of product and not have a care in the world. But that is not my fate. That is not my fate at all, sadly.
Ignorance is bliss. It really
Yes. And I have no bliss, god damn it.
Nope. 007 Cloud, $5. The politics in this show are such a meme at this point. God, aren't they? That I just can't, I just see it as pointless high school drama, fury. All the action is now live action anime. Yeah. And I mean, I know both you and I, but don't mean to disrespect anime, which is great stuff.
Oh yeah, I love anime, but I mean that's that universe. I mean there's a place for everything. I mean the place for soap opera bullshit is on soap operas, and that's fine. Anime, same deal. But when you've got like this kind of high schooly, oh, she likes him, he likes her, you know, oh, hey, you could have had that girl hound, she liked you. You know, and then she holds his hand, and I would have never been I would have stayed the little bird and all this shit. It's like, god damn it. Filler. You see, that's the difference. I thought that those first 2 episodes were character development because I had faith that something good was coming, but now I see empty fucking filler. And that is the revelation, that is the illusion that season 3, you know, season 8, episode 3 stripped away. Basically, I have no more illusions about this show, and that's why I don't give a shit about it anymore.
No, and filler in a 6-episode season, and 2 of the episodes that we were promised they were all going to be feature length were an hour long, and they were effing waste of time filler. Suckers. Yeah. So if anybody is going to watch this, I would not tell them to sail the high seas. I would never tell them to sail the high seas, because sailing the high seas is wrong.
Yes,
wrong. It's terribly wrong.
Actually, the only you know, high seas robbery that you would be committing would be on your own time and your own life. Respect yourself more. Do not waste your time or your life on this shit.
Yep.
Like we have. Learn from our experience. Jesus.
Lion of the Morning, $1.99. Stay angry. Thank you. Wow, I just saw that message. $2 just disappeared. Oh boy. I don't know who that was. I was just about to get to it. Swift, $5. Couldn't Bran just warg every rat in King's Landing and kill everyone? Yes, he could. He could. I don't know about every rat, but a lot of, well, yeah, he can warg all the damn birds. He can warg the birds and kill everybody. I mean, we could just have Alfred Hitchcock King's Landing. That'd be great.
Yep. He can't be bothered. He can't be bothered.
No. Dark Shamrock, 57.99. Thank you for the donation. Cassidy C, Canadian, $2. So Cersei learned nothing from Joff killing Ned. Okay. Yeah. Well, nobody learned anything from anything. The show is ending up in a worse place than, no matter how it ends, the realm was better off when the show started. It was better off.
Yeah.
God. George Mallow, $4.99. Question that's been bugging me. If Dragonfire won't kill the Night King, how does Valerian Steel Sword Metal Forge with Dragonfire kill him? Bad writing, no continuity, not understanding their universe. Of course, Dragonfire would kill the Night King.
Yes. But that was basically like I did that video about asking about, you know, Game of Snoked, where basically the Night King being inundated in Dragonfire was the equivalent of Luke Skywalker being inundated in a blast from every single walker on that line. And, you know, and then the smoke fades and he just kind of brushes off his shoulder. And that was the Night King just looked up and grinned. It was that exact same moment. It's really eerie, the parallels of subverted expectation and disappointment between The Last Jedi and Game of Thrones.
Absolutely. I mean, even that knife move, which I know they already showed prior to The Last Jedi with Brienne, with Arya, and Rey used that in The Last Jedi. But for that to happen in 2 big franchises like that with 2 writers who are working for the same company, I'm not calling that a coincidence. I just think they're that basic. And by the way, People steal shit from each other all the time in Hollywood. All the time. Okay, we have sources. Doomcock and I have sources from CBS. You don't think Disney has CBS sources and they're all ripping each other off all the time? Of course they are.
Yeah.
Of course they are.
Well, that's why, you get waves of similar movies,
Yep.
I mean, they come out at the same time. That's why you had Independence Day and Mars Attacks come out at the same time, which are basically the same movie, just one's more comedic, one is more action oriented. Same thing. You had two meteor movies coming out. You had Armageddon and you had that Deep Impact.
Deep Impact.
Right. I mean, that's how these
much
things
better
work.
porn, by the way, a much better porn than it was a meteor movie.
I'm
I would
sure.
never do that, though. George Model, $4.99. Question. Oh, I already read that one. Elliot Nelson, $5. The only highlight to the new season is hearing you and Doomcock tear it apart. This is completely visceral, folks. This is
this is therapy, dude.
Yep.
This is therapy for me. I fucking cannot stand this. When I saw that dragon get chopped up by that goddamn shit out of the blue, I was just as furious as I was the last episode. So I went from boredom, just absolute boredom and disgust and wisecracking, to actual anger again. God damn it. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable.
Yeah, I didn't think I could get as
throw
pissed
that
off as
away,
last week.
man.
Yep, I didn't think I could get as pissed off as I was last week, but I'm pretty close. So that subverted expectations.
Yeah.
Chris Wilson, Canadian, $20.99. How would I have ended the show? Again, I mean, I'll pop that in my video review. I'll give a suggestion on how I would have ended it, given the same parameters as Dan and Dave had. And I bet you even my dumbass could come up with something better than this. I totally,
yeah, definitely. I will do that as well. And you could even get a little hint of what I was thinking. I had a video that actually didn't get a whole lot of views at all, talking about Game of Thrones predictions. And basically it was kind of me plotting it out to a large extent. What I thought would happen is kind of what kind of a version of what I would have done myself. But, if I was actually doing it, I think that I would be it would be too layered and nuanced discussion to have here, but I will do a video about that. I think I should.
Yeah, most definitely. But I would have flip-flopped the ending for one, because I think they definitely got it backwards, and I would have started the Cersei stuff last season. That's a hint. MT 7 Australian $7.99. I watch with my hubby, and it has given me insight. He doesn't remember who the characters are. He likes spectacle. That's their audience, and that's not the audience they started with, because the audience that likes spectacle would have hated the first 4 seasons of this show. Hated it.
Yeah.
It's kind of, not to insult your hubby, and thank you for the super chat, but it's kind of a normie thing, and normies aren't bad people. They're just not nerds. Michael Smith, Australian, $5. Overlord DVD Nerdrotic. How does this fit George R. R. Martin's way of telling his story? Dumb and Dumber wasting a great story. It doesn't, Michael. It doesn't. And back to MT. So did your hubby like it? Did he like the episode, or I'm not really sure, because when I call people normies, that's not an insult. It's just different from me. That's it.
Not one of us, not of our kind.
Not the kind of person who would study Game of Thrones maps for 2 hours laying down in their room. And I'm not saying that that's probably really crazy.
It's probably, they're just very surface. They're very shallow, and they're not really thinking about the show. They watch it. Like I said, look, like any kind of other kind of spectacle or sporting event, they just want to see, who wins. That's a really shallow and superficial kind of way to approach a narrative like this.
Well, maybe, the thing is that the show's so different. Maybe that's the way to approach it, but I can still be pissed about it because that's not what it was set up to be. I mean, they just changed it completely, and now as they changed it, they're going, no, it's always been like this. No, this is Dan and Dave, poor imitation of George R. R. Martin. I'll just say that.
I mean, that's like some idiot watching Casablanca and then like walking out saying, yes, Victor Laszlo won. Because she went off with him on the plane. You missed a point, asshole. You're an idiot. But that's the kind of superficial thing. Yes, Victor Laszlo with the win. Ha! And it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. And that whole thing about, Elsha, I'm no good at being noble, but it's not hard to see that the problems of three little people don't amount to a hill of beans in this crazy world. Someday you'll understand that. Here's looking at you, kid. Well, that's the whole point. Not that Victor Laszlo won, but that is basically the approach that these normies take. And that's why I can't really stand to be around them. That's why I must conquer them and bring them to heel.
It's Chinatown.
Exactly.
Manja Film, $5. Filler, and not the delicious kind they put in Twinkies. Right? Manja Film, thank you for the $5. And Ryan Conley, thank you for the $1 donation. A Lion of the Morning, $4.99. Brant can't be bothered because he's busy looking back in time and perving on Sansa and Ramsay's wedding night. Oh, Jesus. Oh,
That's pretty good. Well, I think more highly of Bran that way.
Yeah. I like
it to peep. I think that's great.
I like the memes that he was watching Endgame. $10 message retracted. Sorry again. I don't know who that was. Jen Eric for Canadian $100. Can't say I'm surprised that the quality of Game of Thrones went downhill since GRRM fell behind writing. It ensured SJWs would take over the direction of the plot. I don't know what that stands for. There are several shows, I think, had their seasonal transitions intentionally stalled so people could be replaced. Yes. Oh, you were not wrong, Jen Eric. That is subject for, that requires a lot of time, but that is subject matter for a video that I've been playing around in my head. Because a lot of normies are out running the world. They're doing their jobs. They don't have time to be bothered with this stuff. That's why we care about it. So if I just pick 10 shows and I could pick apart those 10 shows and show within those shows the change of direction and when it happened and who it happened to, it would take me a while, but I could do it. I could build a little narrative to show. It would be like a basic, SJWs for SJWism and TV for dummies, kind of stuff like that. And I could even make it all clickbait and go top 10 SJW moments in the best 10 TV shows or something stupid like that. I could do it. It's because it's obvious. I mean, the best example we talked about Westworld. Whoa. Season 1 and season 2 are the best example of that. Cassidy C, Canadian $2. Also, isn't Bran only power scouting? I don't know. Thank you for the Canadian $2. Gnostic Demon, $10. Want to be Lord of Highgarden? Easy. Just walk up and hand the queen with a crossbow and demand it. Don't worry. He has no security and no honor. His promise with zero incentive to do so. Yeah, it's the Kingslayer, for fuck's sake. Captain Spire, $5. I keep on getting the feeling that someone thought bad fan reviews equals success. I watched Dragon Slayer and those dragons died better. Good night. Yeah, you're right, Dragon Slayer. Yes. Chris Wilson, Canadian $13.99. Lady Brienne and Jamie, real story or pandering. Fan service. 100% fan service.
Yeah, I agree.
007 Cloud, $2. Attack on Titan and Berserker better than Game of Thrones. Oh yeah. Damn.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah. MT, he loved the past episode we fought. Oh no. MT, Canadian $2.99. Well, I'm here to tell you, you are right, and he is wrong. But that's kind of the normal position for. I've been married for 16 years, and I have yet to be right once in an argument. So, Timon FLP, is that Timon, son of Timon? Russian, $5. Love you guys. You are part of the fandom line of defense here. Oh, in Brazil, sorry. Brazilian, $5. Here in Brazil, we call the normies civilians. I like that. I love it. Okay. Woo! We have made it through the super chats. That was long, and everybody, my God, there are so many people watching. We are way long on this, way long on this. So we're gonna wrap it up. Doomcock and I have videos to make, and we'll probably do a very short exozone, like an hour. What do you think? Like an hour?
Yeah.
We can do like an hour.
Yeah.
After this, it'll be here on this channel. Everybody, we will be live next Sunday, right after the episode. I will be live prior to the episode at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on my other channel, Nerdrotic Live. You could search it, or here real quick. Just there's links all over my channel. You could search Nerdrotic Live. Please subscribe, and we can talk about the episode prior and afterwards. And we had a lot of people in there prior today. That was nice to see. So
and please do subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/overlorddvd. And I also have a Patreon, patreon.com/doomcock, and subscribestar.com/doomcock as well.
I have a subscribe star too. I put a $1 level in there. Fine. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I'm just going to mirror my Patreon stuff. But yeah. So, okay. 3 more super chats and we're out of here, or 2 more. Baptist 702 499. Thanos says, with all 6 Infinity Stones, I would snap my fingers and SJW storytelling would cease to exist. I call that a blessing. If Thanos did that, well, then Thanos would be the good guy. I wish I could do that right now. And we could just get back to normal entertainment. And again, let me clarify, that does not mean I want stuff back in the middle. I just do. I don't mind politics being and stuff if it's told like as an allegory or to teach a lesson, or if it's just plain ass written well. I have no problem with that. But storytelling is not the priority right now. They suckered everybody. And even if people are hate watching, it benefits HBO. This probably got record viewing numbers like last week's. But this will hurt them in the long run. People are not happy. Fishtails, Canadian $10. Objectivity first. Is there even an economic argument for the writers to do this? Legacy considered? That was just what I was saying, Fishtails. No, nobody's considering legacy anymore, Doomcock. Nobody.
Nope, they're not even thinking long. They don't think long term at all. All they're thinking about is like this next show. Shallow ratings grab, not considering the implications later down the road.
Exactly. And they're in the streaming wars where they want people to watch their stuff over and over again. And they're pulling this crap. Dan and Dave, biggest failure in television history, without a doubt. They're going to write books about this. They're going to rename jumping the shark to killing the Night King, or killing the dragon, or Arya's side boob. I'm not sure what, but it needs to be renamed. Fonzie has been dethroned. I know that for sure. Please subscribe to Dictor Van Doomcock Overlord DVD. Please subscribe to Nerdrotic. Go to my nerdrotic.com, my website, for my live stream schedule. We will see you all Game of Thrones fans next Sunday. Exozone starts here in 30 minutes. Everybody have a great night. Say goodnight, Doomcock.
Good night, you guys.
Go on.
I just got to say, we probably should start it sooner than 30 minutes.
Like I'll try 15, 20. I'll try. So may the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Ciao.